Okay, teacher. Today I want to share with everyone online about the negative ion glasses. This is a product that everyone is very familiar with. Yesterday, I was thinking about what exactly I should mainly share with everyone about this product today, because there are so many partners who are specialized. I mean, they are very focused on, I should say, specializing in selling this product. So there are quite a lot of seminars, even online or before the pandemic, many offline seminars where many leaders have explained the negative ion glasses very professionally. So today, the teacher will share with everyone again. As I was thinking, many people, maybe during this sharing process, because besides my professional talk about the product later, many people during the sharing process actually have some, I should say, issues with logical order or using the wrong tools. Because I often receive some questions, uh, I often find that our members actually, when they don't fully understand some professional knowledge about the product or all the certification tests they go to share, or when they share with their family today, they explain it unclearly. All right, so today the teacher wants to focus more on this part, hoping that when you share with whether it's a good friend or a stranger, you can be very clear in this area. Okay, I won't say precise for now, but a very clear explanation. All right, regardless of what materials you are using when sharing with everyone today, the teacher, when you have the PPT for users, that is the simplest version because it covers the entire negative ion glasses, its main functions, the product, and possibly a little bit of a brief, simple explanation. Now, regarding the negative ion glasses, I think when many people first come into contact with them, their first question is, hey, is it really possible to incorporate negative ions into glasses? And how do you prove that your glasses contain negative ions, right? So, when many people first encounter them, they might see someone explaining with a negative ion detection device, showing them many videos, and then looking at some certificates. So, these are really step by step pieces of evidence. So, when we generally explain negative ion glasses, how do we introduce them to others? Of course, we first talk about the main features of these negative ion glasses. Regardless of the materials or introductions we present, we say, oh, these negative ion glasses have four main, very clear, and very important functions. First, the frame, the entire frame releases negative ions. Second, besides releasing negative ions, it also has the ability to emit far infrared rays. Some members often ask, Teacher, how can we test for negative ions and how can we demonstrate the presence of far infrared rays? All right, I want to tell you that currently, instruments capable of detecting far infrared rays generally need to be in a national level laboratory to accurately measure the energy of far infrared rays. This is because far infrared rays are actually commonly present in our surroundings. Oh, actually, it is a type of relatively short wavelength light. So, to accurately test it with a spectrometer, you can't just use a portable one to show that it has far infrared rays. It requires a large instrument to accomplish this. However, generally, these types of minerals that can emit microradiation mostly have the ability to release what is called far infrared rays, also known as sound domain light. So, actually, in our testing, it will indeed show that it possesses this kind of energy. The third point is that we emphasize our lenses have 100% blue light protection and 100% UV, 400 ultraviolet protection. So these are a few reasons why we often talk about these glasses. The first function is wearing them, and the second is for viewing. So for negative ion glasses, the first thing we emphasize is their ability to release negative ions. The second point we mention is the blue light blocking lenses. So we have the ability to block blue light and ultraviolet rays. This is the first aspect in terms of functionality. Of course, many people will mention when you are introducing this to friends or when you first hear about a lecture, we usually talk about the current demand for negative ion glasses. Why is there such a high demand for it? It's because in our current, I should say, in our modern society, the amount of 3C products we use is increasing. This includes, like during the past 1 or 2 years of the pandemic, you'll find that many people couldn't meet in person. So we extensively use tablets, phones, and even computers for what we call video communication. Especially because of this, everyone, when using their phones, particularly the most portable device that everyone can carry, the usage time is quite long. Taiwanese people rank first in the world for the amount of time spent using mobile phones. According to our average survey, each person in the country uses their phone for nearly 10 hours a day. In the process of using it, besides the electromagnetic waves from the phone itself, let's not talk about that kind of harm for now. The second point is that because your eyes have to constantly focus on the small screen, several issues can arise. When we mention why, if there is no barrier, the phone screen itself, due to its light, emits what we call blue light from the phone screen. This blue light in the long term won't cause much harm with short-term exposure, but over the long term, constantly facing such a screen, the blue light can be harmful to you. It's not just the light entering your eyes, but even the light reaching our face. Even the light reaching our face, 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 even reaching this, what we call the pituitary gland in the forehead. There are medical literature reports that, for example, extensive use of mobile phones can cause spots or pigmentation on our eyes. And it can even affect our pituitary gland, the pineal gland, impacting our sleep. Especially when you use it for a long time before bed, your sleep will be disrupted. So in this part, we just mentioned blue light. I, as a teacher, will first tell everyone that what I'm discussing today will be somewhat broad. I won't go into everything directly, but I will mention how we usually appeal to the functions of these glasses, highlighting several key features. Because many people actually find it unclear when discussing books. When it comes to this part, we talk about the harm of blue light to the entire face and eyes. The main issue lies in its penetrating ability. Unlike the usual UVA and UVB, which are invisible ultraviolet rays, this light is typically the strongest light humans can be exposed to in nature. However, due to the use of 3C products, there is another type of high-energy blue light. You can see that this high-energy blue light has an energy level of approximately 400 to 450 nanometers. It can directly penetrate the cornea and lens of our eyes and reach the macular area at the back. Therefore, the penetration ability of this light, if used for a short time, won't be so strong, but if you focus on it for a long time. Additionally, if you use it for a long time, for example, in situations where there is insufficient light, because when the external light is inadequate, our pupils will dilate to allow more light in so we can see clearly in dark places. So why do we say that? If you look at your phone in a dark place, actually blue light can enter the eyes. I should say its brightness will significantly increase because our pupils are fully dilated, allowing light to continuously enter. So in dark places, actually using 3C devices, whether it's using a computer or a phone, you are increasing the exposure of blue light to the internal parts of your eyes, from the cornea, the lens, even to the macula. The brightness of the blue light they are exposed to becomes very high. This is also why we say that nowadays, the people who do this are mostly young people. These kids actually don't quite understand. They haven't been, let's say they haven't heard or realized that, oh, our bodies can undergo such changes. But actually, in these processes, when it comes to the eyes, we actually say that the accumulation of diseases is not a matter of 1 or 2 days. It is a long-term habit. When blue light continuously enters, a large amount of free radicals will accumulate in our retina. Some people may experience retinal degeneration over time, or our photoreceptor cells may deteriorate, eventually leading to diseases such as macular degeneration. Okay, during this process, some people may have already damaged their lens, potentially leading to early cataracts, or they may have damaged their cornea, causing flashes of light, or possibly experiencing nearsightedness or presbyopia. This is also related to the structure and constitution of each person's eyes, because truly everyone's eyes are different. We usually talk about the condition of most normal eyes, but teachers do encounter some people who mention special conditions of their eyes. So, generally speaking, most people have a basic ability to maintain eye health. For example, wearing these glasses today with blue light blocking effects to block light energy is a very important protection for the eyes. The direct harm to the eyes comes first from light and second from prolonged use. Additionally, if we don't have enough fresh energy and blood flow within the eyeball to carry away the large amounts of free radicals and internal waste produced when using the eyes, this can lead to eye diseases. These are the main reasons why eye diseases occur. So, regarding the eye structure that my teacher showed everyone today, I believe that many of our online members who have attended lectures before might have seen it. Sometimes you might see our leaders or Dr. Lian using an eye model to simulate and show everyone the internal anatomy of the eye. But here, I feel it's more important to mention the muscles around the eyes, as I always do. When we use negative ion glasses, the negative ions released from the frame first come into contact with our skin and the muscles beneath the skin, followed by the microcapillaries within the skin. Under the influence of these factors, these are actually the first bodily structures to come into contact with the power of negative ions. The strength of negative ions lies in their ability to assist with circulation, help relax muscles, and even aid in relieving pressure on the entire eyeball. Okay, so under the effect of these negative ions, we know that the structure of our eyes is in this state. If we use our eyes for a long time today, for example, I usually go to bed late, or my work requires me to stare at the computer for a long time, or my life habit is to use my mobile phone all the time. It is conceivable that our eyes first have muscles because we don't move them. Secondly, our blood vessels are very prone to constriction due to the pressure from prolonged use of the eyes. The pressure is significant, causing the blood vessels to become quite tense, so the blood flow coming in is insufficient. At this point, the eyes are very likely to first experience a lack of oxygen. Using eyes for long periods causes fatigue and constricted vessels, reducing oxygen and increasing free radicals. Well, due to aging of the body or dietary habits, issues like arteriosclerosis or triglyceride problems and thrombosis begin to occur. The first places that are easily blocked are, of course, the eyes and the brain, because they are where the body's most delicate microvessels are located. So these issues will affect some people. Why do we say that people with cardiovascular diseases can be detected early through a fundus examination? It's because people with cardiovascular diseases actually have a high degree of blockage in their extremities. For many people, especially in the brain and eyes, the early changes in their blood vessels are very easy to detect. The second group is diabetic patients, because diabetic patients have issues in their microvascular extremities, especially in the extremities or in some small blood vessels due to sugar-related problems. This leads to early vascular lesions. So all these are related to the eye, and we say these diseases are interconnected. So when we know this, actually the claim of negative ion glasses, whether we experience it ourselves or share it with others, the first thing we would say is, hey, because you might realize that I use my eyes for too long, and as I get older, my eyes might have some aging issues. When I have the negative ion frame here to assist, while I'm using it, it can perform a negative ion, let's say massage, allowing the effects of negative ions to work inside. And perhaps due to the blue light blocking from the habitual use of 3C products, I think these are our two main claims. So when you tell someone if they really have such a lifestyle habit, the first thing they'll think is, oh, right, I should have a product like this. And the demand for it increases. At this point, you need to explain, meaning you have to make them believe that this product is good. Therefore, we will introduce the material, even the frame, coating, its functions, as well as its certifications and safety, etc. Now, regarding these glasses, let's talk about the 5 series first. The 3 series, 5 series, the main specialty of our glasses is that you will notice the very distinct feature of the T290 ultra-light elastic material. The 6 series, 7 series, and 8 series are because we have done surface treatment on the frames, so the material we use is relatively harder. However, it is still an extension of the T290. However, the 5 series and 3 series are relatively softer and lighter, which are generally the most accessible entry-level models we introduce to general users initially. I highly recommend them when someone feels they have this need. Actually, the 3 series and 5 series, or rather the hanging glasses series and 5 series, are what I would first recommend to them. This is because they are suitable for any discomfort or eye condition, such as dry eye syndrome or issues like astigmatism, presbyopia, doom, and myopia. Actually, I would say its ability to regulate bodily conditions is the strongest because it is a full frame design, including the temple arms, which release negative ions. Therefore, its frame is relatively light. However, due to this, you might find that these two series, because of their super elastic soft material, sometimes require frequent manual adjustments. This is a characteristic related to the material. The 6 series, 7 series, and 8 series don't have this issue. Okay, I also want to mention something about its lenses. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. This is not a coating. We don't have that now. I should say that the material fully releases negative ions and far infrared rays. As for the lenses, they block 100% of blue light, and they also have a very high intensity of transparency.